Welcome back to Queen City Dog Talk. This is Jacob.
And I'm Drew.
And this episode, it's going to be a handful of Georgianness and awesomeness. It's just going to be great. First, we're going to hop into South Carolina, and then
we're going to recap Kent State.
Sounds good to me. Final score of the South Carolina game, 48-7. It was amazing. It should be 48-0, but...
Yep. Just in the last minute, under a minute, they scored on like third string, basically.
2 minutes and 11 seconds, 13-yard pass.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, that stuff happens, you know. We're here in the Queen City, so of course we've got a lot of Gamecocks around. They like to chirp, but they haven't really been chirping a whole lot in the last couple of years. So I was really happy that there was never a question in this game. Georgia ran it, controlled the whole game.
Yeah, and they won't be chirping this year.
Nope.
And 8 minutes in, wait, hold on, let me see. 8 minutes till second quarter, Brock Bowers, 5-yard run. It's amazing. I mean, that was a great drive. 10 plays, 82 yards. It was just great, you know?
Yep.
Very strong from
Looking
him.
really good. Yep.
Yeah. Second touchdown was by Kendall Milton. Just a 1-yard run. We must have drove it down there. 5 plays, 43 yards. I mean, we were getting some distance. Like those plays, like we mentioned earlier.
We're talking about like yards per play and stuff like that?
No, yards per drive. It was a 5-play drive.
Oh, yeah, right.
Or the first touchdown, 10-play drive. I know we're having these long drives. Like we said this earlier in last episode, Bennett's scanning the field. He's seeing it, which is something really good. I really like to see, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's the first quarter, 14 points, 14-0, 2 touchdowns, total control game. The Dogs are looking really good.
Yeah.
Game's looking good.
Even Bennett had 3 carries, 36 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. Looking mobile. I like the mobile aspect for sure. He's definitely playing well.
Yeah, he very much is. Let's go ahead. Our possession, I don't know. It was like half and half. We had it for 30 minutes. They had it for 29 minutes.
I didn't realize that.
Half and half possession. I mean, it was crazy.
Well, definitely not reflected on the scoreboard, though, so that's all right.
Telling me. And our defense came out strong again. We had 0 turnovers, and the Gamecocks had 3, which was
nice.
Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. And total yards, 547 Bulldogs, 306 Gamecocks.
Not too bad.
Yeah. And what was it? I think it was on TikTok. I saw that, where was it? Where was this? William Bryce or whatever?
Yeah, William Bryce Stadium.
Had empty seats.
Oh, yeah.
Had empty seats.
Hey.
The attendance record was 78,212.
Decent amount.
Yeah. Well, if that was in Athens, there would be.
Oh, well, for sure.
There would be no empty seat. Everyone would want to see him run over.
That's right. Yep. Well, that's good, though. I like seeing that when we go into a visitor's place, you know, whether it's in South Carolina at Williams Bryce or, you know, hey, it was even fun when I was down at the largest outdoor cocktail party and watched all those Florida fans on the other side of the field leave. You know, you know you're dominating when that's happening. I like that a lot.
I know, that's the cool
Empty
thing.
the stands.
Yeah. Where was it? Capital One Orange Bowl, back whenever we went to the Rose Bowl. We travel. Dog Nation.
Oh, Dog Nation travels. That's for
travel.
Sure. For sure.
Great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Defense, of course, looking strong. We had some stuff, but we were still looking strong, you know?
Yep. Showed out for this game, did well. I think they kept Rattler in, you know, kept him in his space there or whatnot, kept him in check. And I think they did, you know, pretty well in this particular game.
I
for sure.
would definitely agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the first half, they ended 24-0. So that was good going into the half, and then came out third quarter and put up 21 points. So that was great. Good to see the younger guys get in there and get some playing time on the road and early. I mean, believe Beck was in there pretty early in the third quarter. So that's really good.
Yeah.
And getting some good rotation, getting some good playing time. I don't think you could really ask for that much, you know, much more out of that. So really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, in that third quarter, we had 3 touchdowns. I mean, it was great. Bowers, Bennett, and Oscar Delp. 28-yard pass.
The true freshman.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy.
Really good.
Well, there's this play by Stetson Bennett. I mean, it was super strong, right? What was he at? This was his one touch out of the game, one of his third carries, or one out of his 3 carries. 36 yards, which is great from him, you know?
Right.
I feel like last year he wasn't really as, like, you know, mobile.
Yeah.
Which he definitely had some good stuff. What was it? First game of the year, he had that little trick play.
He's got some wheels, man. He can get going, you know. And
Look at that. He juked out that defender.
yeah, the way he jukes and gets right up the middle.
Right in the middle. I mean,
yeah, he did really, really good.
What's it? This one? Just watch that defender right there. Ready? Boop, boop. Where do you think you're going? Runs right in. Oh, my gosh. It's perfect. Great run by him. I loved it. It was amazing.
Yep, really good. Like seeing that for sure.
Yeah. And, of course, Bowers ran in second quarter. Wait, we're talking about second quarter or third quarter? That play was in third quarter. Yes, I think it was in third quarter. Fourth quarter. Fourth quarter was a little hectic. I mean, yeah, we dominated the whole game.
Well, yeah,
obviously.
it was domination, yeah.
What was it? 53 seconds left in the game.
Right.
What was it? It was a 6-play drive, 45 yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, really got concerned. I think we didn't turn the ball over. Did they stop us? How did they get the ball? They got the ball really close to their end zone, I felt like, at the very end of that game. And we just stone cold them, stopped them.
Yeah.
And their fans were all excited, thinking they were going to get a touchdown then, and we stopped them, which was great.
That happened all throughout the game, though, you know?
But I mean, this was at the end. They were really, that was probably one of the closest times they were in to our end zone, you know, to be able to score and have something happen. And it didn't. So you're thinking, all right, that's good. We got out of that one. But unfortunately, I believe we went 3 and out on that particular series when we got the ball back. And they got another chance, you know, and that was discouraging. I really wish we'd gotten a first down or so and been able to kill out the game, but it didn't happen. They got the ball back relatively close to the end zone, and were able to get a touchdown. So, you know, it's kind of funny, you know, sitting all the times that I've been watching Georgia football and to be disappointed that we gave up a touchdown against South Carolina late within the last minute of the game is kind of crazy to think that would be a disappointment, you know. So hats off to the Bulldogs for continuing to fight, continue to be there. And, you know, hey, good for the Gamecocks. Hey, you know, you have something there, I guess. We let you score on our third team. We didn't let you score, but you got to score on our third team defense.
Got to score on the Bulldogs.
You know, whatever.
That's the thing, though. Is our third team, and that's what I really wanted to see how deep we were. And I feel like we were pretty good deep. But that's the thing. We're dominating first team, second team, right? Even third team here and there. Well, this is sending out a message, right, to anyone, any of the SEC teams, even Big Ten, Pac-12. I think I got that right. That they thought we were going to, or to anyone who thought we were going to drop off after the national championship, we're sending out a message. I mean, like,
yeah, hopefully,
fried chicken right there.
Yeah, so well, for sure, that was some good fried chicken that night, and we'll just see, you know, what happens. And we got a long season to go. Well, but yeah, we've got some studs. We're deep, and that's a good thing. We're just young, so we'll just see what happens as the season, you know, progresses. But hey, we're taking care of business in the SEC. That was our opening SEC game. We went into William Bryce Stadium and dominated, emptied the seats, and got a big win. Our first SEC win. So you can't really complain too much about that.
But it's just going to keep getting better from here.
Yeah.
So we hope.
We'll see. We'll recap Kent State here in a few minutes and kind of talk about that a little bit, and then look forward to our game this week.
Yeah. So I just want to say I'm all about camera and set stuff, but we got a little bit of a different set. Bigger table, we got the Air Murray ball, this awesome Georgia lamp, and behind the scenes, it's amazing. It's pretty cool. We got a new lighting system and camera. So I hope everything's a lot better on y'all's end. This is being great.
One step at a time.
Darn right. All right, so we're going to be right back, and, well, for you in a little bit, we're just going to take a little break, and we're going to talk about Kent State.
we're back. We're going to go ahead and do a recap of the Kent State game. But before we get into that, let's take a look at some of the games that we saw throughout the nation last week. Starting with number 2, Alabama against Vanderbilt at home. Can't say much about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry.
that's expected, So Alabama won and won big. Ohio State won big. Michigan was a little bit under a challenge there with Maryland, but they ended up winning out and looked like they pretty much had control towards the end of that game. Clemson and Wake Forest was a tight game.
That was a really good game. I remember
Yeah,
that game. That was so good.
Yeah, that was good. That was a tight game, and I look forward towards the Kent State-NC State game. Excuse me, what I said. Clemson-NC State game
That's always
this
big
week.
around
So
here.
that'll be a big game. But any of the other ones, really, I mean, the other big one really to kind of talk about was Arkansas
South
and
Carolina.
Texas
Oh,
A&M.
Texas A&M. My bad.
Yep, Arkansas and Texas A&M. So that was a good game. Came down to the wire on that one. And then you've got Florida, Tennessee, which kind of came down to the wire as well. Tennessee looked like they were in control for a good bit of it. Florida kind of came back a little bit, down 5 points, and got the onside kick, but nothing came of that. So Tennessee gets a win. They're still undefeated, 1-0 now in the SEC. But
4-0.
Florida is 0-2 in the SEC, not looking good in the East,
Yeah, not
which
really.
it's hard for me not to smile when I'm saying that. But they've lost to Kentucky, and then at home, and then at Tennessee. So
Yeah, well, it's only Georgia
see.
and Kentucky and Tennessee. Everyone else, Vanderbilt, Missouri, South Carolina, and Florida in our little conference in the East.
yeah, in the East Conference, yep, I agree. And then just the last one I want to recap real quick and just mention, how about Middle Tennessee going into Miami, the U, and beating them? That's huge. Real
Oh,
big.
yeah.
Hey, congrats to Middle Tennessee and that
No
program
shame.
for that. So
No big
that's
shame.
really good. So we've gotten through all that. Kind of went a little bit more probably in depth because I didn't really want to talk about the Kent State game too much. Georgia obviously did pull out the win. They ended up winning 39-22, but a lot closer than I think any Georgia fan would really ever want to say.
Especially
and talk
against
about.
Kent State.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they should have. We're dealing with college kids, students, and who knows what's going on. But
Social media,
we
reporters.
just talked about the game going in up to Columbia, South Carolina, and just totally whooping them, tearing them up. And then here we are at Kent State, and it's like 26-13 at half, and way too close for me and for comfort. But like I said, we're talking about, college game. Who knows what could happen. But thankfully, Georgia came away with the win. So
Yeah,
Indeed.
that's like I just tried to mention ago. I bet it's all up. I'm not trying to be rude to our Georgia Bulldogs, but I bet it's up in their head. They're seeing it all over College Network or ESPN or
yeah.
Instagram, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Maybe they're taking into that rat poison. I don't know what the deal
So
was
sad.
there. Lad McConkey, had a game that you wouldn't really expect to see from him. We hadn't seen that before. Fumbling and bobbling a punt return,
Yeah.
which actually ended up leading to points, and then also fumbling the ball, which led to points too.
Well, here's the thing.
Another play that Kent State had where they threw to the left sideline. Their wide receiver blocked our defensive back. Chris Smith came in from safety, and he came on the inside instead of going the outside, and then either taking the wide receiver out or pushing him back into the inside where all his help was coming from, and the guy ended up running for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, I'm really hoping. My hopes are that Kirby. I don't want to say that he was happy with that game. I mean, he's happy with the outcome that we won, of course, but gave him a lot on film, gave him a lot to coach and really get on those kids. So hopefully they've worked hard this week, and we go to Missouri tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be the team that we've seen against Oregon and South Carolina.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Back on McConkey, he only had 65 yards, while their other receiver, Walker, 106. I mean, like,
Who is that? Kent State's
yeah,
receiver?
Kent State,
Yeah.
D. Walker against McConkey.
Yeah, so, you wouldn't expect that, but, who knows?
Same with Bowers and Cooper. Cooper had 90 for Kent State, had 90 yards. Bowers only had 77. But with Bowers, it must be a trend or something. Brock Bowers, a 75-yard run from a kick. First touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. That was the beginning. That was the start off the second half. Couldn't ask for a better play. I mean, I like that. That's great. He had a nice run. That was huge. But the downside to that is it doesn't take any time off the clock. Yeah. We didn't get to drive. We didn't do any of the stuff that we need to potentially work on. And, he just takes off right away. So,
this was on the second play of the drive, so we did have one bit, but
boom, second play of the drive.
Finds that hole. First down. Keeps going. Bye-bye, Kent State. Missed the dives. Right over the dive. 20, 10. Touchdown, Georgia Bulldogs. I mean.
Yeah, no one's going to catch him. Not there at Kent State anyways. And once he got the side and had that hole and took off, he was gone. So.
The minute he found that hole, got past the first down, that receiver in midfield, sorry, buddy, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Well, it's kind of funny as we look at this play and you talk about, there's talk out there about, Georgia's rushing game, where's that going, what's happening? A couple things I've heard and a couple things to think about is Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator, is an NFL guy. That's his background. He likes to throw it. He said that. So if those opportunities to throw it are there, hey, man, I'm down with it. They're going to take it. And I'm glad to see that Bennett's doing that and can do it. But we can also run the ball. And while, Milton's had some great runs, hadn't looked maybe as sharp and as strong and just blowing over people like we would hope, he's still getting the job done. McIntosh, I think, is getting the job done. Edwards is looking pretty good. And then Robinson, really like to see how he continues to grow in what he does this year as he's just a true freshman. But that play from Bowers, that's almost kind of like a sweep. It's just a toss there, and it's a run. And Georgia for a long time was all about it's the Georgia toss, the Georgia sweep. I mean, we could do that stuff in running games, and they're really, I think, kind of doing some of that, just in a different aspect, just in a different way.
This is how Gurley and Chubb got popular, right? Their Georgia sweep, rushing it, getting those yards, getting that yardage up, which was amazing. Yep. Possession, though. We had the more possession, 23 minutes of possession them, 37 minutes of possession us. It's pretty good, but man, total yards, we knocked them out of the park. They had Kent State had 281 total yards. Your Bulldogs had 529 total yards, but it was too close for comfort, Holy cow, defense! Holy cow, defense! Guess how many turnovers they had? Georgia Bulldogs had 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
Kent State, just 1.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't do good keeping up with the ball, this game. So.
Yeah, and Kirby, he does the best football preaching, and I can't wait to see. And it'd be cool if they release any stuff that he's talking about. I bet he's going to be on those boys' tail. All up on them. All up in the film. I love Georgia. Not saying anything wrong, but I'm just like, come on, guys,
Yep. We expect a little bit more out of them, and you would think a game like that, they're just going to blow over them. But like we talked about, this is college. These are college kids. So who knows what happened? Who knows if they're hearing too much of good press, and what's happening and it's getting in their head. But I trust Kirby, and I know that he's going to do the right things and make sure that team is focused, and he's going to use this as a learning lesson, so to speak, to get them back on the right track. So hopefully that's what we'll see on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, Bennett though, Bennett had a pretty good game. He had that 1-yard rushing touchdown. He threw over 272 yards, while their Kent State's quarterback had 174. Almost doubled his yards, And that little run thing he's pretty good at that,
Yeah.
A little run in, Stetson Bennett got it.
Yeah. I'll never forget back when Georgia went to the national championship game that year, and we had to play Oklahoma and Baker Mayfield in the Rose Bowl, and hearing that about our scout team and what we had. And Stetson Bennett was the one that was the scout quarterback and was the one that was there to look like Baker Mayfield and to kind of do his kind of things. And so hopefully now where he's at, he's able to do a little bit more of that. So hopefully we'll see that this season. We'll see a different Bennett. We'll see a different attack, and so we'll just see. I'm excited about it. I think he's got a lot of opportunity,
Me too.
and it's nice to hear him, getting some Heisman mentions. So
Yeah,
we'll
right?
see. And Bowers is as well, so he's making a case for that too as a sophomore. So he's doing a great job.
Yeah, well, on one of ESPN's review page and stuff, I mean, they're not wrong, but what was it? They said Georgia hardly looked like the national best team, right? Struggling to pull away from Kent State.
Mm-hmm.
Unranked team against the number one team nation. Number one team.
Yeah,
nation.
but who hasn't? Alabama hadn't looked that great at games. I mean, against Texas, that's right. And then I think they had another game this year where they didn't really look all that great.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State would kind of do those kind of things. Michigan would do those things. And I don't know if we really need to go any further than that. I mean, Notre Dame lost a big game.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson's kind of struggled, and who knows what's going to happen with them. So those things happen. Thankfully, it was against a team that Georgia could make those mistakes, and then still come out with the win. Still got some guys, different guys got playing time, so they got experience, which is good. And then also got some things on tape and some things to work on, and for Kirby to be able to get the guys' attention. And hopefully, right the ship, and get things ready for this week.
Yeah. But
So,
I think that's pretty much all I got for you for Kent State.
not really a whole much to add there. You want to briefly just talk about the Missouri game, Columbia, Missouri?
Tomorrow.
Yep. Tomorrow evening. So it's an evening game, thankfully. I don't know if that noon for Kent State, that's a tough one to get up to or to get up for as well. So. Hopefully this will help. Although you're away, so you're staying in a hotel room, you're waiting all day for kickoff, so that'll play a little bit into it. Missouri's got a good run defense, so I would really kind of expect and think that we're going to probably be throwing the ball a little bit more than running the ball. But who knows? I say that type of stuff, and we go up there and pound it. So I mean, you never know. But that's what I would expect.
Well, it's a 7:30 kickoff game at where Georgia Bulldogs are away, but.
And Missouri, okay.
No red lights, no fourth quarter, but that's fine. Some predictions, though. I don't know. There's like a 94. They say there's a 94.8 chance that we're gonna win.
Right.
I would say it's 100, 110. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
yeah,
excited.
Vegas will agree. Because big odds are the odds are on Georgia for sure, and they should be. I mean, it's the number one team rolling in. Missouri hadn't really looked all that great. I mean, they played Auburn last weekend, I do believe was that game, and
they lost, right?
yeah. I mean, Auburn sucks. What can you say? Yeah. And they went, I believe, into overtime, right, with Missouri. So Missouri had it. They had it there, and their running back, pushed through and put the ball out with one hand and couldn't handle it and lost it, and Auburn ended up winning. So,
first game in the conference was a loss.
Yeah.
Second game in the conference is a loss. I'm just saying.
For Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think there's really much to talk about on this one.
Yeah.
I think Georgia's definitely hands down the favorite. They should go in there and win. Hopefully we can empty the stands again and just do it in Columbia, Missouri this time, and come back home with no injuries and some good stuff on film, and still have some things to work on and be focused on, and get ready for the following week. So we'll see.
Excited. Well, we'll definitely have some good stuff for you to talk about this game. We'll definitely review it, and then who do we play after this? After against Missouri?
After Missouri, let's see. Who do we have? We've got Auburn. Ha.
Well, we will.
And then Vandy. So hopefully, this should be a good run here in the SEC, I would say.
So we'll let the Missouri game go by and the Auburn game, and then after that, we will review both of those games.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll do one before. Do one next week. We'll just kind of see how things.
But yeah, let's see how Missouri goes. I mean, if they blow them out and it's just a great game, we'll see. But if it's close and interesting, which I hope it's not. I hope it's interesting and we blow them out. Just don't want it to be close. But
yeah, it'll be interesting whenever we take the field.
Darn right.
So.
Alrighty. Well, thank y'all for tuning in and watching Queen City Dog Talk. It's been a great episode. Thanks.
Thank you.